Welcome back to Majors Monthly, second episode for the month of December on its way. Last month in November, we had two great interviews with Group Channerdat and Hayden Jaco. We've got another great one on the way today with Braeden Ferrington, Noah.
Yeah, Braeden Ferrington will join us in just a little bit to talk about the season that was, as well as what's going into off-season preparations for him. But Dylan, first, we got some housekeeping things to get out of the way as the Majors coming off earlier this month. A fantastic pop-up shop at Labatt Park on Saturday and Sunday. And it was just great to see people out. I know you didn't get the chance to go out, but I was there on Saturday, and it was lined up at 11:30 to get in at noon. Like, it was fantastic to see everybody out and getting their Christmas shopping done. You know, a little stocking stuffers to stock up in the last couple of weeks here before Christmas.
Yeah, and I wasn't there, as you mentioned, but from all accounts, it was busy, it was lively. People were excited. They wanted to get their championship gear. I saw and I heard from Matt Hiscox, our media relations man, that there were several people, reaching out, trying to see if there was still this left and that left. At the store, there was great championship merch, just Majors gear in general, and then a great championship magazine from Game Day London.
Yeah, Game Day London has that championship magazine. What's left of the printed copies, I know a lot of them sold out on the weekend, but what's left of them is for sale right now on their website. You just got to pay the $15 cover for the magazine, and then I think it's like $5 or something in shipping. So really a good deal to get that commemorative magazine. Lots of great stories throughout the season from Game Day in there, as well as some, some interesting stats, interesting facts from throughout the year. So really want to check that out if you're looking for it. If you thought you didn't get it because you didn't get down to the park, you still have a chance to get that commemorative magazine. We also want to remind you guys that season passes are now on sale for the London Majors for the 2022 season. So lots of great deals going on there. Youth and senior passes on for $89, adult passes on for $129 for the season. And hey, you can even check out the season family pass, which is on sale right now for $249. That gets you 2 adult tickets and 2 youth tickets in there to get everyone out to the ballpark and see if the Majors can repeat in 2022.
Listen, last year was quite the atmosphere at Labatt Park. There was a great team on the field, and always there were fans coming out and supporting the Majors. Let's replicate that in 2022. Let's have the same support, the same success on the field, and hopefully the same amount of fans, if not more, with capacity restrictions hopefully being lifted off the field as well.
As we make our way through December and head into the new year, we'll have lots of great interviews coming your way, as well as some exciting announcements coming your way in the new year in 2022. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Not a whole lot much else on that, but just stay tuned. It's exciting stuff coming your way. Let's get to our interview for this month on Majors Monthly as we welcome on Braeden Ferrington. Braeden, a local guy, a London Major for a long time, and then finally getting that championship this season, and he joins us now. Braeden, thanks for hopping on the show. It's a pleasure to have you on. Good to see you again, and a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, no problem, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're happy to have you, Braeden. So this year, you've been with the Majors for a very long time. This season, you won the championship. After all those years, you finally came out on top. What was it like to be at Labatt Park during full sold-out capacity crowds, and then in the playoffs, that electric atmosphere throughout the run?
It was different. There's a lot of excitement, right? But then think of the whole COVID, just the whole emotion of all the guys that got together through the whole year finally paid off. It was, I don't know, you can't really describe it. You just watch the videos of us celebrating, and then you can put your own words to that, because I think you can't describe it. You just got to see it for what it is.
Over the years, you've mentioned to us a few times about the 2016 team, a team that won the pennant, you said was probably the best team that you ever played on. And that was, of course, before this year. Did you feel a difference between this team and that team when you stepped on the diamond for the first time of the season? And did you think that this team had the chance to win that title?
Honestly, it was very comparable. I think just the inner workings of the clubhouse dynamic was very similar. Everybody kind of hung out together due to the whole COVID stuff, right? So we weren't really allowed to go out in public. So we kind of stuck together as a group, same as in 2016. We kind of stuck together as a group. So it was similar, but then we kind of went to the next step. We kind of just said, you know what, if we're going to do something, let's just go all out, do it. You never know if this could be your last time ever playing. Because, everyone knows this group was little bit on the older side with a sprinkle of new guys. So the older group were like, you know what, if we're gonna go out with a bang, you might as well make it worthwhile, right? So, but yeah, no, at the start of the year, at the start of the year, honestly, you would, if you would have asked me that, I would have said, you know what, we're gonna go day by day, we're gonna compete, see where it goes, and well, we won, and you know what, that's the coolest thing ever.
So you mentioned how the group was a little bit on the older side. A lot of guys that you had played with in the past in your prior seasons with the majors, some guys that maybe didn't play in 2019 for the team, some guys that had been away from the squad for a little while, but they came back for this 2021 season. How special was it to get to share that moment with them, guys that you had played with, that you had grinded with over your time in the IBL?
Yeah, it was honestly amazing because even like the backstory to that, a lot of the guys we kind of grew up together, right? So like for myself, Boone, Byron, we literally grew up together since we were 9 years old. So that was the coolest thing. And then even before our majors career playing Tomcats, we had Chris McQueen on the team as well with us. So I think that was just cool, you know, like hitting the peak of our local career. It was pretty awesome.
And obviously capping off this season with the championship in front of the hometown crowd is something that is certainly special and something that a lot of people are going to remember for a long time. Is there plans for next season for you? I know it's early. I know we're only in December. Are we getting into the off-season routine already, Fairzy, or are we waiting a little bit before we start throwing the ball again?
I have started throwing. I've thrown live to actually a couple college guys that came home for U.S. Thanksgiving. I'll just name their names: Core Jackson, Dylan O'Ray. Core is at Nebraska. Dylan O'Ray is a University of Illinois commit. So two big Division I, Big Ten conference guys there. So they're good.
Well, you've been very open about the fact that after the 2019 season, you weren't sure whether you're going to put on the majors uniform again. Then 2020 happens. There's COVID. It shuts everything down. There was no IBL season that year. What brought you back for 2021? Why did you feel that you wanted to come back and put on the pinstripes again every Friday night?
If you want an honest answer, I really had nothing else better to do after 4:00. So I was like, hey, you know what? Why not? I know I had a bunch of guys bug me before the whole announcement of me coming back. They were literally in my ear saying, "You're playing." And then I was honestly, I was hesitant about it. I was like, there's no shot. Like, you've seen my numbers. Nobody wants me. Like, I don't want to do this. I haven't even been throwing. I haven't even hit a gym in like over a year and a bit. Went through some other things in my personal life that, you know, we're not going to talk about. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I might as well just had no expectations.
Well, you talk about your numbers there, and you'll be the first to admit that they weren't great coming into this year. But what turned it around in 2021, Mr. Ferrington? You had a heck of a season, an ERA below 1, lighting it up on the mound in relief. And how did it feel to go out there and seem like you really hit your stride this season?
Honestly, you know, I had a catcher that kind of was on the same page as me for the first time in a bit. So I don't know, numbers don't lie. I don't know. Like, there's no real explanation for it. Like, maybe they just couldn't hit me. I don't know. Like, usually I throw a pitch and it goes over the fence. Here it wasn't happening like that. So I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. So it is what it is.
Well, you certainly had a great season, and that led to Majors manager Roop Chanderdat relying on you in some of the big moments as the year went on. What did it mean to you to get thrown into those big spots for the team, you know, late inning situations in a close game when Roop needed a guy to get out of a jam, or in a situation where maybe Owen Boone, Pedro de los Santos, they've gone 6 innings and the game's a bit out of reach for the opponent, and he just needs a guy to throw 3 innings and make sure that the other side doesn't get back in that game. How did it feel to be trusted in those big spots?
Felt pretty good. I think like back in my college days, it was kind of like we had no other options. So you're the guy. we ride or die with you. Don't suck. I'm not gonna say I felt that this year too, because we had a little bit younger bullpen, and they don't really know the league. I've been around the block a few times. I understand how the hitters hit off me. Shocker. So I don't know. I felt great because I knew what was not really expected of me, but I knew how to perform in that situation because I've been doing it for a couple of years. And this year kind of forced me to kind of take that next level to my game.
So anyone that hasn't had the chance to meet you personally, or anyone that hasn't followed you, on maybe social media, or now is just getting the first time to actually see you on their screen in person, they're probably figuring out pretty quick that you're a pretty honest person, that you're pretty straight to the point when it comes to a lot of things. How did that help you this season when it came down to figuring out a game plan? I know you talked about having Hayden Jaco behind the plate, who was a guy that was on the same page as you. And a lot of the times it just comes down to getting right to the point. Let's not mess around here. You know what I got. I know what I got. Let's get to it.
Yeah, like it was, there was no real, everybody knows I don't overpower people, as a hitter. Like, I'm not going to blow by you. I'm going to try to sneak a couple by you, but I'm more here to trick you into thinking something that's going to happen, but it's really not. So yeah, I don't know. Hayden and I were on the same page about it. Like, hey, throw a slider, throw a curveball, throw a changeup. Let's mix in a fastball that makes it look like it's harder than what it actually is. And then the hitter gets mad and walks away. Yeah.
You mentioned that you're not really too sure what led to your great success this year. Do you think maybe you made a mechanical adjustment? Was it something different, a new pitch you added to the mix? Is there any insight you can give us on what led to that steep decrease in ERA at just 0.86, I believe, this season?
Yeah. I think it was just more use of my off speed, to be honest with you, not trying to throw the good old number one. That's not number one style. So I think that was my key to success, right? Like, use my strengths to the batter's weaknesses versus me trying to always work on my weakness, try to make it a strength, but my strengths become a weakness.
So moving forward in the future, I know we've talked a little bit about coming back next year, but winning that championship for London this year, the first one in well over 40 years, the first one since 1975. Does that make you want to come back and win back to back, go for it again? Like, are you eager to get on the diamond? A lot of guys probably haven't started throwing yet. And the fact that you've thrown a few times, Mr. Farrington, tells me that you're eager to go. You're ready to go.
Back to back is always hard. Don't have those expectations. You're going to go in, day out, try your best, see what happens. But I gotta know, like, for myself, back in the day, like, I was in Bud Gardens, John Labatt Center, when the Knights won their first Memorial Cup. That atmosphere was electric. Fast forward 2021, same atmosphere. Couldn't expect more for following future years, to be honest with you.
London, you mentioned there, you were there for the Memorial Cup, the Knights' first win, and that crowd was electric. This crowd was electric. London loves to support a winner, and you love to connect with fans and to interact with them. I've asked you this before on my podcast. It's a question I've asked you in the past, but I'll ask it here once again now. Why is it so important for you? Because you're very much in the community on social media. You're talking to a lot of fans. A lot of fans know you very well. Why is it so important to connect with them and to reach out with them through social media?
It's just, honestly, it's just being a good person. Like, if you are put at a certain point in your life where you can help somebody, why not do it? When I was younger, I definitely used the social media side of it as, I don't know, probably more so as a look at me moment, where now I've evolved, matured, as people like to say, where if you can give back and make other people look good, then why wouldn't you do that, right? Like, that's just, especially during COVID now, like, it's, people need help, so why not give it?
What is one piece of advice that you would give to, a younger pitcher in the area? Let's say someone's coming up through the U12 ranks, somewhere around there. They're looking to up their game a little bit. I know you like to mentor some of the young arms in the area. What's an advice that you wish you had when you were their age that you could possibly give them now?
Be yourself. Don't let a certain coach dictate what they want you to be. Because at the end of the day, when you're 12, nobody cares about if you win or lose a trophy. Like, that's just the bottom line of it. Like, that's just, no one cares. Like 16, 17, 18, yeah, like people are going to care because you're going to be looking at schools. You're going to go look at, I don't know, other career choices if baseball doesn't work out for you. Like, just be yourself. That's just the main thing I like to preach on that.
Great piece of advice for young arms there. And then my final question for you, Braeden. You talked about being yourself. You have some creative glove designs, and that's part of what makes you unique out there on the mound. That's part of what makes you Braeden Ferrington, who pitches every Friday night for the London Majors. What goes into those designs, and where do you think that creative side and that interesting design side of your game comes
from? For me, I'm a glove nerd, to be honest with you. Like, it's just, I like to understand the backstory, how it's made, where the glove actually comes from, just this full story, right? So then if I could add my own 2 cents to that story, then like, why wouldn't I? For example, like,
You had it ready.
Have it.
You had it ready. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody knows about it. I don't know. Like, for me this year, the yellow glove, it was more of a symbol thing for myself personally, because, like, life happens sometimes and it's not always so sunny and rainbows going everywhere. So if that could be my little piece of sunshine, why wouldn't I do that? So that's what I chose.
Now, I know you say all the time, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Is there anyone that maybe growing up you tried to model yourself after? And even if there's someone nowadays that you kind of like to model your style of play after?
Yeah. Like, I know growing up, big Brett Cecil fan, big happy retirement for the guy.
Was it the glasses, Braeden?
Glasses
man yourself.
Kind of cool, right? Yeah, modeled my game around him. Big curveball. That's just the way I've done it. Now, I don't know. Like, I like to model my game around a good friend of mine, Paul Fry, slider, kind of combo. Kind of took what he has done to make him successful, worked into my own game, and it's kind of gone. Yeah, well, this year was good. Previous years, work in progress.
Just took you a little bit to figure out what you were doing, and you got it figured out.
For 1 year at least.
Well, we're going to be waiting, and we'll see if it will happen again in 2022. Braeden, thanks for joining us. Pleasure to have you on Majors Monthly. I know you were itching to get on the show, so here you are. It's an early Christmas present from us up here in the press box. Here we go.
Hey, you know what? It's for the fans. They stuck through us through thick and thin, and here you go.
All right, thanks, Braeden. And once again, Braeden Ferrington, pleasure to have him on the show and talk here for our December issue of Majors Monthly. And really a good guy, hey, down to earth and honest. If we can say anything else about Mr. Ferrington, those are the words.
Absolutely. Braden's always a pleasure to talk to because he will shoot you straight no matter what. He's an honest guy. I think he prides himself on his honesty. He'll always give you his true opinion and nothing but that. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. And he's very honest about his own game as well. Like, he's not going to tell you that in past seasons he hasn't struggled, but this past year he was fantastic for the London Majors. And I was very happy that we got a chance to talk to him about this year that he just had, because it was very successful on the field, and a little bit about his interests, his connections off of it.
If you want to see if Ferrington is maybe going to be back in 2022, then make sure you grab your season passes. They are available now on the London Majors store. Season passes for family, adult, senior, and youth. All the prices up there on the screen right now. as you can see. So make sure you check those out, as well as check out GameDayLondon.com, as they have the commemorative magazines for sale as well. All you got to do is pay the $15 for the magazine, as well as the shipping charges included as well. So make sure you check it out. Dylan, from myself, Dylan Baker, we wish you a happy holidays, and we hope that you guys stay safe and sound. And we'll see you back here for Majors Monthly in January of 2022.